This is the 2025 Acura MDX Type S. Is there anything missing? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're at Or Acura in Shreveport, Louisiana, where if you come in and say you saw my video on whether it's this MDX or any other new vehicle they have in inventory, you get a $500 discount, the Vehicle Visionary discount, only at Or Acura. So we're going to give you all the details and see if there is anything missing. It will be interesting to receive your comments and see what you think about this model. It does have some changes for 2025, the biggest of which being in the interior. If you don't already know, I promise you're going to like it. If you want to know more, maybe come in and buy this MDX or anything else, check out the link in the description of the video. And as we take a look at the front end, if you're wanting an MDX and you want something that's a little bit different from the others out there, this is the trim level for you, because you're going to have some minor variations to the way the front fascia looks with the grille. Obviously, you're going to have your Type S, but I like the gloss black with our grille, upper grille, lower grille, and that nice, large, prominent Acura logo right there. You'll also have your forward-facing camera. Of course, these two things aren't exclusive to the sport trim level. We'll also find our sensors right here, so you're going to have a lot of great driving aids, parking sensors, all of those great things are going to be here. We're going to have our LED headlights, the Jewel Eye LED headlights, and then our LED daytime running lights. I really like that design, how that just kind of comes down like this and works its way up. Or someone might say it looks like it comes down and dips and then goes over this way. Everybody has their variations on that, but that's all LED. We're also going to have LED fog lights down here on the lower portion of the bumper. Again, I like that look. And we have the functional vents here, air going in, all that's going to be here. A little bit of gloss black again, but we have the nice balance. I am glad that we had the body color here with the front end right there in that area and that spoiler. That's a good thing. Obviously going to be all-wheel drive. We're looking at 275 with the width on our tires. That's your tread. A 40 series sidewall. They're gonna be wrapped around. Let me get out of the way a little bit here. The 21-inch wheels. And I really have to say, that red with the brake calipers just makes that pop that much more. Very impressive. I like that look. Type S badge, gonna be right here on the front end, obviously on both fenders, on the driver's side and over on the passenger side. And everything is here, maybe not within the mirror itself as far as what you want, but I'll explain what I mean in just a second. But we do have a lot of stuff to talk about here. The gloss black mirror caps, turn signal indicators built in. We're going to have the power adjustable side view mirrors, and they're going to be heated and power folding. Now, you might notice that I didn't say anything about blind spot monitoring. Well, that's because it's actually right here. Tell me what you think about that. Do you want to see Acura in the future put that in the mirror instead of having it in that area? Work our way back. We're going to have, again, body color with our door handles. I think that works really well instead of having maybe gloss black or something like that. Also, the roof rails up here. If you want to get the crossbars and put those on, you add more cargo space that way. LED taillights finish things off back here. And I like the look. Again, very similar to what we saw with those daytime running lights as far as the overall design goes. Type S badging is going to be in a multitude of places. We'll also find the rear roof spoiler right here and the exposed rear window wiper. And when you have this sticker on here, a lot of you probably already know what that means. That means that it has the hands-free feature, and I like that it says peel off after reading. It almost makes you wonder if it's kind of a Mission Impossible sort of thing where you peel it off and you see some yellow smoke or something like that. I'm not talented enough in my editing to make that happen, but what I can do is show you how this feature works. You can kick your foot under the bumper like that, or you can even swipe your foot across. There's nothing wrong with doing that, whichever works for you. Just make sure it's in that middle area. And you can change the height of this tailgate, just like I just did right there, to make it keep this setting. You hold the button down and listen for the beeps. Just takes a couple of seconds. So I'm going to let that close and then we'll reopen it for you just so you can see, because somebody's going to say, you didn't show us that what you did actually worked. That does happen in YouTube land. So here we go. You're going to find out that that opens up to the height where I just set it. There you go. Pretty simple. And last but not least, back here, I like the quad tip exhaust. It is fully functional. No faux exhaust back here. That's always nice to have. Speaking of the exhaust, what's under the hood and how much horsepower are we talking about here? Let's open the hood and we'll find out. Here under the hood is the direct injection turbocharged 3-liter 6-cylinder. It makes a very plentiful 355 horsepower and 354 pounds-feet of torque. All of that's going to be mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, this is going to be obviously the most powerful MDX you can buy. How's it going to do for you on MPGs? We're looking at 17 city, 21 highway, 19 combined, and 5.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And you know the MPGs, what about the gas tank size? Well, first of all, you're going to have capless fuel fill. And when you fill up, you have an 18.5 gallon gas tank. So let me show you one more thing that I think is very important here for peace of mind. I'm going to lock the interior real quick, and you're going to notice that that locks the gas door. When I unlock the interior, it unlocks the gas door. Just a little peace of mind for you. Speaking of the remote, here is your remote. You have remote start, lock, unlock, all those things that you like to have. And you even have the red stripe on the side right there. That's pretty cool. A little bit of red on the back. And one more thing that I wanted to show you real quick that is very important to know about. I told you about the power folding side view mirrors. There they are in action. So if you want that to happen, you can go into your infotainment screen, and actually there's a setting for that if it's not working, just the same way as is the case with that rear door I showed you. I forgot to talk about that earlier. If your power door, you kick your foot under the bumper and that's not working, go into your infotainment screen. There's a setting there to make sure that that feature is turned on. And there are multiple ways to open this power tailgate, including the button on the tailgate itself, on the remote, and in the interior. You can tow up to 5,000 pounds. And how about your cargo specs? We're looking at 18.1 cubic feet up to 95 cubic feet when you maximize cargo capacity with all of the seats, the second and third rows folded down as you see right there. And we'll take a quick look in here. We're gonna have a little bit of space right here if you want to store something there. I'll move the license plate holder out of the way. We'll also find right here, we're gonna have the 12-volt power outlet, and we're gonna get back to this button in just a minute, but a little more space over there as well, just so you can see everything that's going on. Now, let's say, I'm gonna let Austin show you this button right here. This is the walk away feature. So I'm gonna let Austin back up out of the shot right now so you can see me real well and see what I'm doing. So let's just say that I'm needing to pick up a bunch of grocery bags or whatever's back here and move everything out. But I don't want to have to worry about even kicking my foot under the bumper, although you could do that. I want to just be able to pick up my stuff and walk away. So I'm gonna push that button, and I'm just gonna stand here for a few seconds, and you can see that nothing has happened yet. But when I walk away, the door closes. That's a nice little feature to have, just one of those, just little, we'll say it's added value from Acura. One of the additional ways you can take advantage of your hands-free tailgate here in the rear. Some people might want to kick under the bumper, some people might not. You might want to just pick up all your bags, whatever you have back there, walk in the house, and not have to worry about it again. That's one of the ways you can do that. And let's talk a little bit about what your second and third row passengers are going to find. First of all, as you can see, you can increase the third row space by moving these seats up. I don't know how likely it is that somebody's going to sit here with this seat this far up, but it can go to a couple of different settings, or it can be pushed all the way back. And to gain access to the third row, there's a button right down here on the seat. You can see that button, very easy to figure out what that does. So when I push that button, all I have to do is push it and the seat gets up and out of the way. I might need to push it just a little bit to get it up out of the way completely. Let's see if I can get in. Okay, there we go. And we'll let Austin push his button over there too, just so that you can see back here a little bit. Now, here's the reason why you would want that. Now, you can't move the middle seat, but the outboard seats do move. But you can see that I am kind of cramped back here. So this is good for the kids if they want to use that. And other than that, you know, adults could fit back here, but it's gonna be kind of tight, maybe for around town. You can see I don't have a lot of room above my head, but you know what? You have 3 rows, that works. And let's grab the camera real fast here and show you a couple of things that we're going to have. First of all, we're gonna have a USB port right there, and then a cup holder right here. And I'll also swing around to this side. Say hi, Austin. There's Austin making a cameo appearance, and you have the same thing on the passenger side over there. And there's Austin again. He doesn't like to be on camera, but he has to be on camera sometimes. There's the panoramic sunroof. If you need to know about that, that front portion will tilt and slide open. And there's a power shade that can be drawn forward to make it easier to avoid having too much light coming into the interior, making things hot maybe during the summer. If the second row passengers forget about the third row passengers, no problem. There's another one of those buttons to get the seat up and out of the way. And if you ever need to, for any reason at all, you can remove this middle seat. So all we're going to do, first of all, we're going to pull on this release right here and lay the seat back flat. On the very front, there's another release right here. That's what you can see. I'm going to pull on that, and that allows me to tilt the seat forward. Hey, this seat, I don't know, maybe weighs 30 pounds or so. And there we go. The seat comes right out. You can stow it in the back. There's an area back there to do that. Now, I should have shown this earlier, so we're going to come back here real quick. You have a two-sided floor. At the plastic side right there, this is removable to make it easier to gain access to that area. That's where the seat is ultimately going to go. But I did want to show you this right here. There is the carpeted side, if I can get it in there correctly, and there's how that works. And there is the seat stowed right there. It's not quite like the Honda Pilot where it fits in there perfectly. We'll have to see what comes in the future with that, maybe in a couple of years with the MDX. But at least that way, you know what your options are. And you're going to have the shades that can be put in place here on the doors if your middle seat passengers want that. Pretty easy to deal with. They're manual, but you know what? It's nice to know that it's there. And as far as the door panel itself goes right there, a lot of space with the armrest. I do wish that that front portion that has that angle to it was flat. It just seems like it'd be a little more comfortable that way, but I don't know. Someone else might tell me it's not a big deal who have spent time riding in the back seat of an MDX. And the door panel or door bin is nice and large. It's going to have the bottle holder there and plenty of space for anything else that's needed. Also, we're going to have, for you parents out there, you're going to have to stow the cover right here, but there is your latch system. So if you need to install the child safety seats, you can do that. And you could just drop these right here into the rear seat pockets. Pretty easy to deal with that. No big deal. I'll put that back in place. I do like the pattern that's on the seats here. We do have the all black interior, but for some people that works. And finally, as far as the rear seat area goes right here, we have the command center for our air conditioning. This is the third zone of our climate control. You can adjust fan speed over here. We can also turn the heated outboard seats on both sides. And our air conditioning vents are going to be right there. We're also going to have a 12-volt power outlet and a couple of USB options. And what about the sticker price? If you see somebody asking in the comment section what the sticker price is, unless they have a laughing emoji, then they're just being facetious and having fun because they know that I don't like it when people do that. Don't tell them that the sticker price is $76,600, or it could be $76,100. Almost did terrible math right there, but that's okay. We'll move on to the door panel over there on the passenger side. Something I like here, we don't see it in all vehicles, is seat memory. So that's going to be on the passenger side and the driver's side, obviously. You also have the controls for locking and unlocking the doors and controlling the mirror position. A little bit larger armrest, a little more space there, and a little bit larger door bin. And I'm going to let Austin show you the inside of the glove box. Probably be a little bit easier for him to do that instead of me reaching all the way over. Plenty of room in there. That's always nice to have. So good things going on where that's concerned. Plenty of storage space. Now I'm going to grab the camera real fast and show you what's going on here on the driver's side. Here are our controls. The same thing, all the mirrors, or excuse me, well, yeah, it is all the mirrors right there, the two mirrors. All the windows right here, and then we can lock and unlock, and we can lock all the windows if we want to. There is your seat memory, and a couple of other features up here that you might want to know about as well, depending on what you need to do. We have something here that you might be interested in too, which is going to be the control for the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And I'll hit that button right there so you can see some of the safety features that come up and different things like that. So this punt and peck method will do you very, very well as far as this model goes. And one thing that is over here, these two controls are for your head-up display. So if you want to, hopefully you can see it. I don't know how well you can see it, but if you want to change what is on the display, you can do that. You can also change several different things, such as its height and different things like that. I don't know how well the camera is picking that up, but hopefully it is doing a good job of that for you. And our instrument cluster, it is digital, but you can see what all you have here, a digital speedometer, and you'll also have your speedometer that is going to be over on this side as well. Kind of interesting that you have two different speedometers, analog and digital, but there it is. Now here's something interesting. You can see the likeness of your MDX right there. If I turn the headlights on, you're going to find out that they come on right there. If I put my foot on the brakes, the brake lights come on. And when I put it into drive, it gets down into what I like to call the ready, set, go position. Just one of those interesting little things that is on here. In fact, I'm glad I did that because now I know I need to turn those headlights back off. Here are your steering wheel mounted controls. Depending on what you need to do, you can do all of that. You can scroll through a lot of different information and make some changes depending on what you're needing or wanting to change. The hunt and peck method really does do you quite well here. It's pretty obvious what's here, at least in my opinion. Simple to figure out. There's another Type S logo, a very comfortable steering wheel, by the way. It is a heated steering wheel. There's the button for that, and you have your shifter paddles on the rear. Over here on the right-hand side, or excuse me, the left-hand side, we'll start in the right place. You can laugh at me for making that mistake instead of laughing with me, but there is your turn signal lever, headlights, and fog lights. All of that's going to be there, and your front and rear window wipers. And I'm going to give this back to Austin. And for those who may not know, here is one of those big things. It really is the ultimate change here. It has to do with what we have right here. And what exactly is that? It's the new 12.3-inch touch screen. Yes, it is now a touch screen. You have Google built in. You've got your Google Maps and all that good stuff here. That's going to make things nice and easy. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You're going to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We're not going to do that right now, but Android Auto there. And here's something that I think is very interesting for those who may not know about this. If you come in and maybe there's a white MDX on your screen and you're saying, I want the same color as my body color on my MDX, you can actually change that. You can go right there to menu and then to body color. And here are all of your different colors. Normally, this is the color we would see right here a lot of the time. Now, some of these colors are really dark on the screen, but depending on your exterior color, or maybe you just want something else besides what yours has, you can change it to all of the different available colors for the MDX. Kind of a cool little thing. I like that. And all of your other features and functionality are going to be here as far as that goes. Driver assist setup is right here, so if you want to know what your different features are and some of the things you can come in here and change, well, here it all is. So we're going to show you some of that. Go back out of that real quick, but you can see what you have as far as your lane change and all that good stuff. A lot of great driving features, and hopefully the glare is not really bothering anybody, but not much we can do about that today. We're doing the best we can with it. So you can see what's here. You have cabin talk if you want to use that. If Austin was asleep in the third row and I wanted to wake him up, I could use cabin talk to do that. That's actually a pretty cool feature. You can really get the kids' attention if you want to do that in the second and third rows. I'm not saying Austin's a kid, but I don't know. Maybe he is and I just don't realize it. Yep, it's funny. We can laugh. And here is your camera setup. As far as your different views go, we showed you have that front camera. You're going to have the overhead view as well right there. I really like what we have where that is concerned. There is the other camera view that we have. We have a couple of different views on here, and we can use trajectory lines if we want to. It's really a nice setup. Very clear, at least in person, and there is another nice view that you have right there. So depending on what you need to see and where you need to see, you can pretty much see everywhere. So nice to have that touch screen right there. I know a lot of you have been waiting for that. By the way, you can change what's over here on this side as well. You just have to scroll through like this, depending on what you want to see. Now, you can't get rid of that, unfortunately. I know a lot of people would like to see that, but you can't do that, so we'll leave that on there. Now, the only thing that's missing is your Sirius XM. That doesn't mean that you can't use it. You just have to use Apple CarPlay or pair your smartphone, basically, and make sure that you have that app. If you haven't downloaded it on your phone, you can, and then it will show up, and you can use that way. So Air conditioning here, as far as that goes, here is what we have. Here's our dual zone climate control. You can sync those two sides together if you want to. We also have the heated and the ventilated seats. And there is our ventilated seat right there. And I'm going to turn that on right there. And we'll take advantage of what we have right there. Now you know it's there. I was telling Austin we have the massage seats here. And speaking of that, let me show you something else on the screen right here. We have power adjustable seats for the driver and passenger with lumbar support. And I'm just going to go through and show you some of the different things that you can do. I guess he doesn't like that. It's cool. But there you go. If you want to adjust different areas, there's how we're adjusting lumbar support. You just select through, and then you can actually use the thigh extender as well. So if I want to extend that up or bring it back, I can do that. I'm just using the control on the side of the seat. Super easy to deal with. Wanted to make sure you knew that was there. We're going to stay focused on the screen here in just a second, but I want to show you what's here real quick. Our drive mode selector. So back up here on the screen, when I change driving modes, we're going to hopefully have that come up there. Let's see if we can get that to come up for us. There we go. There's our driving modes and some really nice graphics. So there's normal. We have sport mode. And then we also have comfort mode, snow mode, and lift. So you can actually raise the height of the vehicle right there if you want to. And if I push that Acura logo in the center of that button right there, I can go in here into individual and I can actually customize everything the way I want it to be. So that's nice to have. You can see what all the different options are, and then you can go in and make changes to those depending on what you want, whether you want normal, comfort, or sport. You can use different settings in different areas of the vehicle. And like I say, you could just hunt and peck your way around and find whatever it is you want. I can even change the look of the dashboard. In fact, I'll let Austin show you what that looks like real quick over here, because you can see that does look different now compared to what it did before. I actually like that myself a lot more than what we had earlier, but that's my personal preference. And the one thing that I know a lot of people down here still want to see changed is the push button shifter, maybe a column shifter or something like that. And right here, you have the hidden away USB ports right there. You also have brake hold mode right here. If you're wanting to turn the auto stop start feature on or off, that is where you do that. And then we're going to also have our knob here for turning the radio on and off and adjusting the volume, as well as surfing through the stations. Wireless charging, the wireless charging pad is going to be here. That's going to be nice to have. You can just set your phone on there. In fact, we'll do a quick little demonstration on that with my phone. You can see that will come on here in just a second. I say it will. Come on, don't let me down. There we go. Boy, it would be bad if the phone didn't work on cue. And our cup holders. I don't have to wait for them to work on cue. They're just sitting there waiting to be shown. And how about our center console? I like the room here, the space, because it gives you room to use that as an armrest, because you don't have armrests built into these seats. That's a good thing in my opinion. I think that works better. And there is your space. A couple more USB ports as well. There's actually quite a few USB ports throughout the interior here. And let's do this. There's also a little bit of space right there. A lot of space throughout this MDX. Now, as far as our upper console goes, you have a sunglass holder right here. Nice sunglasses in there. In fact, you got to see them up close and personal, didn't you? Didn't intend that to happen, but there's our sunglass holder. There is how we open and close the power shade and the power sunroof. You can see what else is here. I think you know what all that is. All right, we're going to take a quick test drive here in the MDX Type S. And one of the things that I like most here is the fact that you have a perfect balance of a wonderful ride quality, very comfortable. You do have the adaptive air ride suspension, but at the same time, superb handling. And that's a little on the unusual side. A lot of the time you have one or the other, but not both, because to have one or the other, you sacrifice one or the other often. But Acura has done a really nice job here of balancing those out, and especially with the Type S, because you've got all this great horsepower and torque, great ride quality, comfortable seats, and when you put your hands on the steering wheel, there's almost no play. That's a little bit unusual for an SUV like this, although this is considered a little bit more of a high-performance SUV, at least to a large degree. it is the best performing, we'll say, MDX. But overall, it is a blast to drive. Very comfortable, very roomy. I'm 5'10". There is a lot of room left for me. So if you're that person that's over 6 feet tall and you're saying, Tom, am I going to fit? I guarantee you, you will. Now, I guess that depends on how far over 6 feet tall you are, but one way or another, you're not going to have a problem. Easy to see out of. You do have all those great driving aids as far as your blind spot monitoring, lane keeping assist. It's all there, as you would expect. And still very easy to see out of regardless. Windows are nice and tall. I always like that. And you just feel comfortable here overall. I like not feeling cramped. That's always a good thing. The technology makes things even easier because it's here to help. It's not hard to learn. And the fact that you now have a touchscreen really just balances things out perfectly. I know a lot of you asked for that for the last few years. Very common comments that I received on my videos. We want a touchscreen, and Acura listened to you, so now you have that. So overall, it is a wonderful vehicle to drive, fun, easy to learn technology, plenty of room not only for the driver and the passengers, at least in the first 2 rows, but you also have plenty of room in the rear as far as cargo capacity goes. All right, there it is, your 2025 Acura MDX Type S. Is there anything missing? Tell us down in the comments what you think. I do want to say a special thanks to our friends here at Or Acura. Don't forget about that Or Acura discount, or the Vehicle Visionary discount at Or Acura. Also want to say a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to us. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and share this video on your timelines on social media for other people to see. If you'd like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.